Frustrated Chick here. As you can see, I've changed things up a bit. I hope you guys like it. So today I'm going to be talking about my April wrap-up. I was trying to do this video a little while ago. For whatever reason, this video just has bad luck or something. I don't know. Just a couple of things happened. One being that the camera straight up died when I was actually sharing some pretty important information on one of the books. And it's like, great. So I'm going to be putting the footage in from before, and then obviously the footage I don't have I'm going to be putting out today. For Muggle Studies, I read Ryan Higa's How to Write Good. I really wanted to like this book. And what a disappointment. I mean, really, this book sucked. It was bad. I mean, I tried so hard to like this book. I'm mad because I like Ryan Higa so much. I really wanted to like his stuff. I have been reading all of these YouTuber books, and it's like, they suck, they suck, they suck. There's gotta be one that doesn't suck. I had hopes for this book. What happened? Once again, bad. I think it's kind of cool that he at least involved a ghostwriter. I mean, that was kind of cool, but this book, I'm just like, no. I'm not sure about Ryan Higa's primary demographic. Considering what this was, I would say middle school, but I just don't think that's the case. But it could easily be. I'm telling you, I really wanted to like this book. I really wanted to give this book at least 3 stars, maybe. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to even give 3 stars, but this book, it was not good. I was really sad about that. Illustrations were cute, and it's definitely cool that he was able to keep Teehee in there, you know. Definitely his signature, but I didn't like it. And also, he kept on making it clear this would be better as a video. Yes, it would, but also after I read this, I went back to his Draw My Life video and basically the same reaction, so I don't think it would have translated either way. Yeah, not good. I guess that's not hard to believe because it is a YouTuber book, but I'm still very disappointed. Like I said, I love to watch Ryan Higa videos. I really wanted to like his book. Yeah, this is unfortunate, but the good thing is I read this pretty early on in April, so set things off for the next bit for the Owls Readathon, so that's at least good.
Hello, my dear.
So next up is The Elite. And wow, I really thought this series had something. This was trash. I did not remember that basically America was going to decide, yes, I'm marrying Maxon, that's it, we're done here. Oh no. The whole cane canning, whatever it is, when that happened, wow. I mean, we're just going hard, because this was basically the whole thing that happened in this book. That's about it. Like, I can't trust Maxon because of what he did to my friend Marley. It's like, girl, he had no choice. Then she finds out that Marley's totally fine and Maxon helped her. She is literally like, America, what is your problem? He didn't want to do this. Like, it's the law. How could she be so mad? Now, of course, part of it probably has to do with the fact that she's doing the same thing that Marley was doing. So it's like, probably nothing would have been different, so, I mean, maybe Maxon would be like, I'm not gonna do this to the woman I love. But who knows? I mean, he's basically, I don't think a simp is quite the word for him, but he is definitely a good old puppy dog for her. Like, he just loves her, cares for her, whatever. And so then, obviously, when there's so many other girls, he has no guarantee that America's gonna choose him. He's like, well, I'm gonna have to try and find these other girls, and she gets mad at him. It's like, my dude, you keep on saying you don't want the crown, you like Maxon, but you don't want the crown. And with your whole feelings on Maxon, you're still kind of confused. I'm just like, wow. And I still don't understand why Aspen is still in this book. Why? I just don't get it. That relationship makes no sense. And then finding out that Kira cast the whole thing is that Maxon and Aspen's personalities both coincide with her husband. It's just like, it's kind of weird. And also the fact that I guess some parts of this husband's personality don't translate well because every single stinking person hates Aspen. No one likes him. This series definitely does not need to be a love triangle. Also, the fact of the matter is, America has to compete with all these other girls. To be fair, pretty early on you could already tell she's got it in the bag, Maxon likes her, whatever. So it's like, wow, like just keep going with this. So I was like, I mean, this one, not much going on here. I still gave it 2 out of 5 stars, just like I gave The Selection. I enjoyed this a little more, but still, what a mess. Like, I liked this series so much when I was 13, and it's like, ooh, mistake, whoop. But yeah, so trash, bad, not good. Obviously, as you can see, I still have the betrothed though. Like, I decided to get it. And I've heard only bad reviews, so it's like, oh no, am I going through The Selection one more time? I don't know. I mean, hopefully it's a good time. Next up is, of course, The One. Oh my gosh, this series, just like really, this did not need to be 3 books. This really could have been just a little short. I don't know, man, like it could have been just a little novella or something, and I think everyone would be happier because we were just dragged through. Why? Why are these books so big when nothing happens in them? And like, I just hate it so much. It's so bad. But I still gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I gave the other 2 out of 5 stars. Honestly, it would probably be 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5 because they're just so bad. But because of the fact that it had been a good time when I read it the first time, and the fact of the matter is, it got me out of a major reading slump and then got me back into reading. So like, I can't be mad to the utmost extreme. Like, I can't totally say absolute garbage because it still gave me, you know, brought me back into some good times. So it's like, but yeah, this one, as you can see, she is the one. As every single person reading this would know, it's her. The whole competition thing, I think it would actually be more interesting if they had it in like a lot of perspectives and you didn't know who the girl was going to be. And then, you know, then you get sometimes some actual world building and character development and things like that. And then you find out who is actually going to win. And it's like, oh, well, now it's actually worth it. The time spent on this series was actually well deserved. And whoever won, like, there was actually some competition. This, it's just like, Maxon loves America. We know. America loves Maxon. We know, and she doesn't, for no good reason. Our time is so wasted in this series. It's just so bad. I'm just saying, if anyone wants to write that story, go for it, because this is nothing like that. Like, this is just such trash. Such trash. So, I think the world building, or at least the development of the politics and the dystopia was a little bit better handled in this one, but it was still so much like focused on romance, which is actually ironic because hardly anything happens with the romance. So it's like, what does this book have going for it? Like I said, it's really a 2 out of 5 stars, but I'm giving it 3 out of 5 because of the level of importance the book series has. If you care about yourself even a little bit, don't waste your time, please don't. So next up is some of the stories from Happily Ever After. Once I finished The Selection series, even though it was a bad time, I hated it, my time was wasted. I was still like in withdrawal. Even though you know it's so bad, there's still some sort of goodness in the book. I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's just something about it that's kind of addictive. And so I wanted more content of Maxon in America. Now, to be fair, there really isn't much additional for their story, but But still, you know, I wanted some more of the selection stories going on. So happy about this, even though a lot of the time it was like, regret, man. So the first one I read in here was The Queen. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I honestly really enjoyed it. So there was a little disclaimer that Kira Cass had before The Queen actually started. And so she was saying, I'm not meaning to romanticize any abusive relationship. When I read it, like, you know, I'm expecting something really heinous and terrible, and I was like, oh wow, this has got to be really rough and problematic or something. When I read it, I was just like, where? I didn't see it. Now, of course, the kind of guy he was not a good guy, but I just didn't see the abuse in there. But obviously some people did, because she had to put up a straight up disclaimer for it. It was interesting to get a little bit of backstory on King Clarkson. There was something about it that was just kind of nice. Also, I liked that it was basically, hey, we're doing this, it's done, I'm going to marry you, I pick you, but I first have to convince my father. It's like, ooh, done and done in such a short amount of time. It's like, wow, this is what the selection should have been. But of course, the selection was a thing that had to be dragged out for 3 straight books for no good reason. Nice that it was to the point, just done and over with. I really liked that. The fact that she basically did whatever he said, yeah, I know, that's not good. But you can't really blame Clarkson for that. Like, that's her problem. That's her issue. Like, she's got issues that she should be trying to fix. Now, of course, there should be other people around her that should be like, actually, no, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't get with this guy. Obviously, that isn't the case, and we all know what happens because obviously the Queen came after the selection series, so you can't just change it up and be like, oh yeah, they never got together and Max never existed. It's like that. You can't do that. I know he's not a good guy, and I'm sure she's more of a victim than anything. All I'm saying is that there could have been some things she could have done to better herself. Were there books for like the public? Because I know there was the private library and the elite. I'm pretty sure they had books for the girls, so I'm sure she could have gotten some sort of self-help book. I'm definitely not saying that a victim has to do all these things, jump through so many hoops for the sake of an abuser. All I'm saying is things could have been done. Like, she could have been helped. That's all I'm saying. So I'm just saying there's not a total, he's a bad guy, she's a good guy, whatever. I just think there's flaws for both of them, and there could have been just a little bit better balance. So that's all I'm saying. Next up, I read The Favorite. I really didn't like that one. Not that Marley's a bad character, but I just don't like her. Her story wasn't all too compelling. She was nice, I guess. I'm not a fan of her. It really was a waste of my time. Very bad. It was so bad. And then I read the additions in here that don't count as novellas themselves. So the scenes from Celeste, they weren't too bad, actually. I don't understand how everyone was rooting for her or saying, oh, she's a good guy, so we'll treat her like a good guy. I'm like, what? She had glass in a girl's shoes. Like, you can't come back from that. And so many other things she did, and they're just like, what? Who cares? Every decent person out there cares, and it's not gonna just let her get away with it. And then, of course, she dies, and other people are like, oh, that's so sad. It's like, dude, she was a monster. Obviously, she wasn't as monstrous as the Southern Rebels, but come on. Like, I just don't get it. I didn't like her the first time I read the series. I didn't like her the second time for sure. When I did my reread in April, basically, I liked none of the characters. They were all underdeveloped. They were not good. This series is not good at all. I mean, I put myself through it though, so like, whatever. It was kind of interesting with the maid, the whole thing that Lucy was kind of like the second choice, and then, you know, obviously Aspen kind of had to prove that's not the case. I don't know for sure if he really approved it, but it's like, whatever, I guess they're together now. Aspen was the worst, so like why would I care about a romance for him? Lucy was a nice enough person, but like I said, none of the characters were good at all in this series. It was nice seeing these other characters, Celeste, Marley, Queen Amberly, and Lucy. Basically all of them, they know what's going on. They're gonna have their decisions done. Done. Like, why did we have to stick with stupid America? She can never make a straight up decision. We were stuck with her for 3 straight up books. And of course, the heir, of course, her daughter was even worse. So it's like, just a mess. And like I said, I'm like, oh boy, am I really gonna put myself through this again? And that is it for what I read in April. Obviously, as you can see, majority of this was filled with the selection series, and that was not a good time at all. So like, oh well, it was an interesting time to go back to something I liked way back when, but I don't know if I should have done it. And then of course, How to Write Good was not a fun time at all, so. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye!